how have you seen, test automation and quality assurance in the world of AI when we have this non-deterministic process?
Hmm.
How can we make sure that this non-deterministic process would actually deliver the expected behavior that we want?
Yeah, so I think if I had to be honest, I think these all automations, like whether it is like testing the usability, testing the functionality, or testing the security, compliance, or load testing, I think these all tools have made our life way easier. Like we don't need to have a dedicated human sitting to test all the user flows and everything. We can just automate these flows or do the scripting one time, and next time if I'm releasing a new release, I can just hit the button, run the test cases. If all green lights, it's good to go to the release. If anything is broken, it will just alert me, you need to be careful. A human can miss some of these cases, but I guess these automations, they can't miss anything. So, but you have to keep them up to date, like whatever new features, or at least your sanity checklist or the code feature, which is the backbone of the application. They should always be automated in terms of look and feel, in terms of code features, backend. And if your application is heavy on the user side, like you have a lot of user and it gets slow during the like peak timings, you can do the load testing using the load runner and some other tools. If your application is compliance and security heavy, like you're working in fintech, banking, or healthcare, you need to make sure there is no gap on the security or compliance side. So you can use these tools to pen test your application end to end. If there is any vulnerability or any issue, it can pre-highlight before it goes to the production. So I think AI and these tools are making our life easier, and it's making less dependent on the human. We can keep the human in the loop, but still, like it's making the life easier.
Right. Right. Yeah. The automation that we're getting now are amazing, and we're getting better and better tools to automate and make sure that what we're building uh, makes sense. And yeah, I've seen leaps of improvement throughout the years.
Yeah.
I started coding with ASP. You mentioned .NET. I started with ASP. I helped launch uh, .NET and all the other languages back in
Great.
2000 something in Argentina. I
Hmm.
was working at Microsoft, so I was part of that movement. And all of this was in an era that was before we had a strong, non-linear,
Hmm.
a revision system, right?
Great.
I don't know if you remember, you had to check in and check out files so you could
Yeah.
make changes, right?
I remember a bit
So
of ASP, like where you have to embed tag inside the HTML and you have to manage memory,
yes,
you have to manage sessions. I mean, not every new page you have to manage the state of the page as well where you left off. And I think it was a lot of pain at that time to even to do the simple pagination for a logged in user. It was sorting on simple tabular form. It was a lot of job at that time.
yes, it was hard to. It was similar to what PHP is now, um,
Yeah.
to where it's kind of spaghetti code. You just have HTML code, SQL, all of that together, right? So I we come from that where we would actually make changes on the file on the fly, and you would see the changes real time, similar to PHP. Um,
Yeah.
and now that we have versioning control, we have CI, CD, um, we have so many tools that help us automate the workflow and make sure that what we're building actually it's safe to launch, right?
Yeah. I think now we have the luxury that if I'm releasing a new piece of code, I can link my pipeline with SonarQube or any other code review. It can test the code quality. It can alert me. Then I can link it with the test automation pipeline. It can tell me how many test cases are passed or if any of them failing. It can deploy, and even after the deployment, if something is broken, it can roll back to the previous stable build. So back in the days, this was all manual, but I think these all things have made the things possible, more reliable, and more robust now.